Hey guys! Welcome back. And today we're diving into a fascinating topic in the world of relationships: why do women seem to lose their minds over guys who are just a little out of reach? Picture this: a woman says she wants a nice guy, someone dependable, sweet, always there for her. But then, she can't stop thinking about the dude who's a bit mysterious, a little unpredictable, maybe even hard to pin down. What's going on here? This isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about understanding the raw, unspoken dynamics of attraction in relationships. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly why women are drawn to men who feel uncontrollable. And more importantly, how you can tap into this dynamic authentically to become the most magnetic version of yourself. Have you ever noticed this pattern in your own dating life? Drop a comment below and let's get this conversation started. Let's kick things off with a basic truth about human psychology: we crave what's hard to get. Think about it: a limited edition pair of sneakers, a concert ticket that sells out in minutes, or that one burger joint in town with a line out the door. The tougher it is to get, the more we want it. The same thing happens in relationships. When a guy isn't 100% hers, emotionally, mentally, or even physically, a woman's brain goes into overdrive. She starts imagining who he is, what he's up to, why he's not chasing her. That mystery? It's like a magnet. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're at a trendy bar in New York City. There's one guy who's super eager, buying drinks for everyone, trying to win people over. He's nice, but nobody's really intrigued. Then there's another guy in the corner, chilling with his buddies, not desperate for attention. Who do you think everyone's curious about? The second guy. Why? Because he's scarce, and that makes him valuable. This isn't just about playing hard to get, it's how our brains are wired. Studies in psychology, like those on the scarcity effect, show that when something feels unattainable, we assign it more value. For women, a man who seems independent, who doesn't need her validation, triggers this response. Her mind starts filling in the blanks, idealizing him, and before she knows it, she's hooked. Here's the bottom line: if you're always available, always predictable, you're not giving her imagination any room to work. And when there's no mystery, there's no obsession. Have you ever chased something, or someone, because it felt just out of reach? Share your story in the comments, I'd love to hear it. Now, let's talk about the power of not needing. This might sound counterintuitive, but the less you need someone's approval, the more they're drawn to you. A guy who doesn't seem desperate for a woman's attention, who has his own life, his own goals, becomes magnetic. Why? Because he's signaling strength, confidence, and self-sufficiency. Think about the classic cool guy archetype in American culture, the James Dean vibe, the lone cowboy, or the modern-day entrepreneur grinding for his dreams. These guys don't need anyone, and that independence is what sets them apart. Women often test guys to see if they're truly independent or just faking it. If you crumble under pressure, like frantically texting her back when she pulls away, you fail the test. But if you stay calm, unbothered, you pass with flying colors. A slight sense of uncertainty in a relationship can actually heighten attraction. It's why the bad boy stereotype exists, not because women want jerks, but because those guys seem untouchable. And that creates a pull. The key is balance. You don't want to be cold, but you don't want to be clingy either. So, what exactly makes a guy seem uncontrollable in a way that's attractive? Let's break down 5 specific traits. First up, a man who can't be controlled doesn't overreact emotionally. He doesn't lose his cool over small stuff, a late text, a flirty comment to someone else, or a petty argument. He knows what's worth his energy and what's not. Women often test guys by pushing their buttons to see how they'll react. If you stay calm, you show strength. But if you blow up over something trivial, you lose credibility. Picture this, you're on a date at a hot new restaurant in LA. She teases you about chatting with the waitress. If you get defensive or jealous, you come off as weak. But if you laugh it off or hit back with a witty comeback, you're in control. Want to practice this? Next time you feel triggered, pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, is this worth my energy? If not, let it go. Second, he holds firm to his personal standards. He doesn't change who he is just to please her. If he's into fitness, he's not skipping the gym because she wants to binge Netflix all day. If he's passionate about his career, he's not ditching work to cater to her every whim. Women respect a man with a backbone. If you bend too easily, you're signaling you don't value yourself. Think about a guy like Chris Hemsworth, not just Thor, but the real dude. He's got his family, his workout routine, his projects. He's not reshaping his life to fit someone else's mold. And that's attractive. Want to apply this? Define your non-negotiables, your values, your goals, and stick to them, even when it's tempting to compromise. Third, he has a purpose bigger than love. His career, his passions, or his personal mission come first. Maybe he's building a business, training for a marathon, or volunteering for a cause he cares about. Love is part of his life, not the whole thing. When a woman sees you're driven by something bigger, she wants to be part of that journey. If she's your only focus, she'll lose interest because there's no challenge. Think about someone like Elon Musk. Love him or hate him, his obsession with his goals makes him fascinating. Women want to join a man's journey, not be the destination. To practice this, find one big goal that lights you up and make progress on it every single day. Fourth, he's not afraid to say no. He sets boundaries. If she's pushing for something unreasonable, like demanding all his time, he politely but firmly declines. Saying no shows you have self-respect. It's not about being mean, it's about knowing your worth. Imagine you're at a party in Miami, and she wants you to ditch your friends to hang with her all night. The guy who says, "I'm catching up with my boys, but I'll find you later," is the one she respects more. Want to work on this? Start small, say no to one thing this week that doesn't align with your values or priorities. Finally, he uses strategic silence. He doesn't feel the need to explain himself constantly. He lets his actions speak and keeps a bit of mystery intact. Over-explaining kills intrigue. Silence, when used right, makes her wonder about you, which fuels attraction. Instead of texting her a novel about why you're busy, just say, "Got a lot on my plate today. Talk soon." Short, confident, mysterious. To practice. Next time you're tempted to over-explain, pause and say less. Let her fill in the gaps. Picture this, a man standing tall in the middle of an emotional storm, her drama, her tests, her ups and downs. He's calm, unshaken, like a rock. That's the guy she can't stop thinking about. Which of these traits hits home for you? Or maybe you've seen a guy like this in action. Drop your story in the comments. Now, let's get to the heart of what women really want. They don't actually want to control you. Deep down, they want to feel safe knowing you're strong enough to stand your ground. They test you not to break you, but to confirm you're solid. In a world full of uncertainty, a man who's steady, who knows who he is and what he stands for, is incredibly attractive. But here's the kicker, they also want warmth. It's not about being a cold robot, it's about being a rock with a heart. A guy who can be firm but also kind is the ultimate combo. Think about Denzel Washington in his iconic roles. He's tough, principled, but there's a warmth that draws people in. That balance is what women crave. In short, women want a man who's unshakable but approachable, someone they can admire and connect with. So, how do you apply this in real life? First, stay calm under pressure. Let's say she's testing you, maybe she's being distant or picking a fight over something small. Like you forgetting to call. Take a deep breath. Don't react emotionally. Say something neutral like, "I hear you. Let's talk about it later." That shows you're in control. You can practice this by trying mindfulness or journaling to build emotional resilience. Second, set boundaries without being a jerk. If she's asking you to cancel plans with your friends to hang out with her, again, say something like, "I'm hanging with my crew tonight, but I'm free tomorrow." Firm but respectful. Try writing down 2 to 3 boundaries you want to enforce in your relationships and practice saying them out loud. Third, know when to walk away. If she's consistently disrespecting your time or values, be ready to step back. Say something like, "I'm looking for a relationship where we both respect each other's goals. If that's not here, I need to move on." Walking away isn't about punishment, it's about self-respect. And trust me, that's powerful. The key here is that this isn't about manipulation or games. It's about being the best version of yourself, a man who's confident, purposeful, and authentic. What's one boundary you've set in a relationship that made you feel stronger? Share it in the comments. Let's wrap this up with a bigger picture. The most attractive men aren't the ones with the flashiest cars or the biggest bank accounts. They're the ones who are the center of their own universe. They live for their purpose, their growth, their values. Women aren't obsessed with you because you make them happy, they're obsessed because you're a challenge. A puzzle they can't quite solve. True attraction isn't about holding on to her, it's about being the kind of man she's afraid to lose. Alright, guys. If you've ever felt like you lost your power in a relationship, or if you just want to level up your confidence, this is your moment. You can become the man who's magnetic without even trying. Start small. Practice one of these traits today. And watch how it changes the game. Drop a comment with your biggest takeaway from this video or a story about a time you stood your ground. Hit that like button if this resonated with you. And make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos on mastering relationships, masculine power, and personal growth. Let's keep building, not just better relationships, but a better you. See you in the next video.